Welcome back to the Awkward Thinking Podcast. I'm Nas.
I'm Vince.
Bing bong, get your boy real. You bitch ass niggas, we back in this motherfucker. You hear me? You thought we was gone, but we not. You hear me? We back awkwardly thinking in this motherfucker. Hey guys, so how's it been? How's these little 2 weeks been for you guys? First, before we get into anything.
It's been ghetto.
It's been ghetto. All right, what about you, man?
What was it? Thanksgiving?
Yeah, it was Thanksgiving.
It was good. I ate good.
Mm-hmm.
Still eating good down there.
Okay.
I ain't one of those people. Oh, Thanksgiving food is only for the next day. I've been eating that shit.
Your stomach hurt, and I know it hurt.
Taste buds is tired. His fucking taste buds be like, I know this ain't the fucking Thanksgiving food again.
It's good.
So wait, before we go right into our topics, speaking of Thanksgiving, we had a little debate. It was about how much money would it take for you to get shitted on? Because we was talking about people in Dubai getting shitted on. We was talking about people in Dubai getting shitted on. I said shit. No, we said it was $1 billion. If for $1 billion, would you get shitted on?
No, it was $50K.
Oh, it was $50K. Would you get
50K.
shitted on for $50K? Just shitted on.
Bro, $50K is like no.
That's still a lot of money. $50K if somebody to drop shit on you.
$50K ain't like that ain't shit for somebody.
I'd been like, on
50K would change a motherfucker life real fast.
Bro.
A baby is shit on you. Like, a baby can shit on you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. It's shit. But you ain't letting nobody shit for $50K. How much is it gonna take for you somebody to shit on you in Dubai?
I'm okay.
He'll let somebody shit on
That's
him.
what I'm saying. He's trying to
Get that nigga
act.
$20, you can shit on him.
$20.
Go ahead. Darrell would be like this.
What's up, baby? Take me out the. Hey, yo.
He a little thought, you know what I mean? All right, so let's back into these, well, not back into these topics. Let's get into these topics of being insensitive, awkwardly insensitive. So I'm what is sensitive? Being insensitive. Insensitive is just, you're an asshole, You don't give a fuck about anybody's opinion or just
Overall
well-being. And it can be coming off really crazy and it's just really an asshole, an arrogant asshole. But really,
no, you ain't always got. I don't think you always got to be arrogant for you to be insensitive. Because there's some people who you can be insensitive without realizing you're insensitive. So it's like some shit you may not know. Some shit affects a person the way that, like, it may not bother you for someone to say something to you that you can say to the next person, but for the next person they like, nigga, I don't know you like that. So it's just it's like niggas have to know the environment. Like, you got to know who you talking to, and you got to know, like, shit. Go
ahead, please.
What I'm about to say, how is it going to affect this person? Mm-hmm. Like, am I going to say it in a way that I feel like can be done right? Because remember last night we was talking about it, and we were talking about, like, growing up. Like me, I grew up in, like, not harsh environment, but a harsh environment. So for some stuff for me, I'm numb to, or I just don't, it's not as big as a deal for me or whatever. But for someone else who didn't grow up in that same kind of environment, they see it or they hear it, and it's like, that's like, it's more personal, or it's like they feel attacked, or they feel like they're triggered by it. But for me, someone who's been living through it, or who's seen it just growing up or whatever, it's like, oh, that's normal shit.
So let me propose this question. Is it being insensitive being taught while you're being raised? Is it a raised behavior?
I think some people, because racism, like, shit, white people not all white people, I'll say that, not all white people, but it's too many of you motherfuckers. It's a good grip of y'all raise y'all kids to be racist, which is really insensitive.
Actually, I had an incident at work, and a little boy
says to me, I walk out the bathroom and says, "Look, Mom, he's black." Right?
Yeah. Pop your fucking kid for shit like that.
Right. And he laughed. Right. But then he was like, and she was like, "What, the mannequin?" Because the mannequin was black. Mm-hmm. But it's still like, why would that be a funny thing for your kid to be like, "Oh, the mannequin is supposed to be white," or I don't know. Maybe I was reading too much into it, but I feel like that was a ignorant thought that was taught to a child.
And maybe not even just taught, but in that moment, she taught him it was okay by not just being like, "What do you mean?" and then correcting it. Like, why is that funny? And I mean, he is a kid, so you got to take that into consideration. But we keep kids grow up to be Trumps and shit like that. Like, kids, shit, look at these fucking kids on TikTok. Like, you see these little fucking kids, like, saying these little white kids calling people niggas and shit. And it's not funny. It's funny because they get,
page?
I be seeing a bunch of wild shit, but it's funny because you see the motherfuckers get popped and they shit. So it's like, shit like that, raise your kids so they don't get popped and they shit.
Another thing with being insensitive, just a little self-reflection. I was very insensitive like early on, like freshman year for me in college. And that was just because it was a defense mechanism for me. And that's what a lot of people is with being insensitive or ignorant or a-hole is just your self-defense mechanism. And it was just more so like it stems from having anxiety and depression and low self-esteem. And, you know, I wasn't in myself, you know, people may view me as a nice looking man, but in inside, I just didn't feel that way. So if you came at me and kind of crazy, I'm a, you know,
people ain't even have to come at you. Look, freshman year and sophomore year, Nas was an asshole. Like, Nas was like,
changed.
And he has changed. There's a lot of growth there. But I remember, you remember sitting in Yolanda and Sharice's room?
Yeah.
And Jordan, I think that was her name. Mm-hmm. She said, "Hey, Nas." She just introduced herself. She was just like, "Hey." And I forgot what you did, but he was just like being a real asshole toward her. And it made her like shrink a little bit. And it was like, I'm like, Nas, you can't do that. Like, you can't be an asshole to people for no reason.
Yeah, and then, you know, as I grew older, it took some time to be like, all right, you know, with birthdays and things come around, you kind of want people to, like, you know, embrace who you are. And then there wasn't too many, it was a few people, but it wasn't too many people that was like, oh damn, they not around me because of me. And now I have to change my dynamic of how I think and how I, you know, say things and come off to people, because I could still say things that's pretty harsh, but it's not. So what is about to be my next question is, so how can you determine being insensitive and genuine at the same?
It's like the hygiene thing. Like in high school, I know like teachers will go over like, y'all ever had like in high school, I feel like we always had like a kid who didn't have the best hygiene, and people would bring it up in the class and the teachers would explain there's a proper way to do it, and would have the students also explain. And like the proper way to tell someone about their hygiene is not to blurt it out in front of other people. Mm-hmm. It's to not address it in a room full of people. It's something more, you got to be more personal, more understanding toward them. So that's something you have to connect with them on a personal level and have that conversation separate with just y'all two. So it's stuff like that, like moments like that. That's you telling me, hey, you need to put on some deodorant while it's a crowd of people around us. Very insensitive, because now it brings unwanted attention towards me, and it's like you just wouldn't want that for yourself. Now you coming up to me, hey bro, everything good? I don't want to like be mean or nothing, but you know, you kind of like musky today. I got some deodorant in my book bag if you need it or something. Right. That's genuine, because it's not you trying to gain anything from it. It's not you trying to like make a joke out of me or anything at my expense. It's you really being concerned and really trying to help. And even if I don't want to take your help, I still know that you approach me in like not a humble way, but just like you approached me as a person and saw me as a person and treated me as a person. So like that's the difference.
Mm.
And I think in like friendships, that's really important. Like just being a genuine friend, because then like you can say things to your friends or to people that have their best interest in mind without them feeling any type of way. And like that was something that I just recently talked to Martin about too, because I was like, bro, I really appreciate you, because you like someone who I know like ain't gonna lead me astray or like tell me no BS like advice. And then because like Martin is like a really blunt person. Like,
to an extent.
He's a real person. He's a blunt person, and like I respect. Like if something ain't right, he'd be like, "Nah, bro, that ain't right. Like you shouldn't be doing that." And then if something right, he'll give you your credit too. But it was just like something that I appreciated about our like friendship at the moment. And it was like, bro, you know, I appreciate that, and I feel like a lot of people don't necessarily, you know, like maybe it's because some people don't know how or don't know how to go about it. But I feel like, you know, a lot of people don't know how to maneuver, and because like they think insensitive is like one thing, and then like genuine is one thing, and they'll be insensitive without, and it seems like it's not genuine, but maybe it is. You know what I'm saying?
Is it is it delivery with everything? Because how can you really solely determine that?
You gotta take in all kind of factors. You gotta, it's cultural factors. It's like not just cultural, but that's the only example I got right now. But it's like for certain stuff. You got like, I don't want a white person correcting me on something.
You're on.
But no, I'm not. I'm just saying it's like in certain areas I don't want like certain people. I would prefer for like I said, there needs to be a personal connection there. We have to already have an understanding for there to be like for it to not come off. And it's also how you say it. Like it's what you say and how you say it added on to that. So like again, back to the like the deodorant thing. If I don't have on deodorant or something, or if I'm smelling, then you good, because you just did I don't know if I put it but that, like me pointing that out, that could be insensitive based on like if we actually like, let's say if we didn't have the friendship we had, and me saying that could have came off insensitive towards you. Yeah. Like,
but then also with that, bro, I feel like people think that like you know what I'm saying, and like it's like cool to like think that, but sometimes people think like, oh, we have a relationship, I can say this, that, and the third, not knowing that's still making somebody feel some type of way.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like you can't assume just because you have an okay relationship with somebody that you can say insensitive things and then be like, oh, it's okay because I'm cool with that person. That's like if you watch the Kevin Hart True Story thing. It was like this big thing with like one of his fans on the airplane, and the fan came up to him and was like saying the N-word. And the fan excuse was like, it was a white fan or whatever. So the fan excuse was, oh, I'm a big fan. You know what I'm saying? So he assumed just because he thought they had some type of relationship that, now that's drastic, that is a drastic case, but he assumed just because they have some type of relationship, oh, I can say the N-word and like it'll be just fine. That's not the case. Like you still have to, and then like that goes back to putting burdens on your friends. You know what I'm saying? Like you still have to scope the room out, see like read it and make sure things are cool. Like, and that happens a lot. Like people think, oh, we have a relationship, I can call somebody broke, or I can say somebody ugly, or I can say this or say that, and it's like, no, like.
But do you open that window for that though?
But hold on, not even, because we can talk about that, but I agree with you. You have to, the relationship has to be there, and you have to know what that is. But like in me and Naz's situation, in that case, like what we just said, or what I just said to him, that's because these are things we've already joked about. These are things that
I wasn't talking about like that.
No, I know, but I'm making it as a point. These are things that we've already established this, like within our friendship. So for us to make jokes and stuff like that, we can do that. But like on the outside, let's say somebody coming in, like you just said, you think because we making them jokes toward each other, you can do that too, and it's not the same thing.
Exactly.
So I get that. You literally have to know the people you are talking to and what you like, how it's going to affect them. I know it's not going to affect Nas, because Nas know I don't mean any like malicious intent behind it, and he knows there's nothing on it. There's nothing that stands on it.
It depends though, because we can say some shit to each other, and but it's all like it's all delivering cadence. Like not a few moments ago in the past 2 weeks, we was on the phone with a friend, and it was just a lot of harsh comments, and it was just like, you don't necessarily know where I'm at in my life for you, and we haven't caught up enough for you to, like, I'm not the same Nas you know. You know what I mean? Like in this and this and that, I'm more in tune with my emotions, you know? So no, it's not, but for real, it came off insensitive, and the comment after was like, oh, he'll brush it off, it's him. You know what I mean? Exactly. I did brush it off, but it was just like, that wasn't in my current state.
This shit was hurtful when it was said.
Yeah, because it was like, where is it coming from? It's no need for that to come.
It's also how it was said, because it was like the bluntly thing, like people being blunt. It was said really bluntly, but it was like really harsh. It was like, oh, well, nigga such and such and such, and it was like, damn. I was like, damn, and niggas was like, why you coming at him like that? Yeah. And it was like, oh, he'll be okay. Like it's Nas. So it is. You gotta know exactly who you talking to and what it is. And like, I also think it's like, can we relate on that? Because like, certain shit me and Nas can talk shit to each other about because we can relate on them levels. Certain shit me and Carl and Terrence can talk about because we can relate on them levels. We went through that together. So we can crack them type of jokes. But again, somebody from the outside come in and try to crack them same jokes, and it's like
somebody talking about you talking shit about your mom or your parents, and then somebody
with your sibling
with your shit. I don't got none of them, but
bitch, you got siblings.
I do. All right, ex Sabria, I love y'all. You feel me? It was Sabria's birthday not too long ago. Shout outs to her. I do have siblings on my father's side. Anyway, back to my point.
That was insensitive.
No, it wasn't.
It was.
It was.
Like, okay, that you don't have siblings. Like, if they watch that,
nigga, and then I said, let me correct myself.
You have to think about it. You have to think about how organically you said I don't have to have siblings. Like,
okay,
they're gonna be like, oh wow, like that is his first thought.
But in his defense, they didn't grow up.
None of us grew up together. Like, everybody is like a significant.
Do you think they would say that?
Yeah.
But I don't have
well,
siblings.
Are they? Because aren't your siblings? Are they split too? Not to be in your business.
Yeah. Okay. It's three of them.
So like really like none of y'all have siblings.
No, Sabria got a sibling. She got a sister.
Oh, so okay. But y'all aren't each other.
No, because you got a brother and a sister.
I got a brother and a sister.
But is your brother and your sister close? Like, no. Is it? So y'all, okay, yeah.
So everybody is like.
So y'all, well, you and your brother would feel like, okay, I don't have siblings.
Yeah,
but it is.
But me and my brother, we grew up together, but we didn't grow up. Like, it's been moments.
Y'all can build the bond.
Yeah, we didn't have moments where we could really build it up. You know, and not to go off tangent, but I do hate that for that. But that's another day for another story anyway. But all right, so let's hop into this next topic. Social media. How can you be insensitive with this social media thing, man?
All right, so I think social media, like, because of how we use social media now, it's caused a lot of people to be like, fuck it. Like I said, like, growing up, you grow up in a harsh environment. So, like, if you grow up around domestic violence all your life, eventually that shit become normal to you. And it's like, when you get older and you see that shit out in public, or you see it somewhere else, it's like, okay, like, it is what it is. It's like, you're not thinking too much of it because you've seen it growing up. But somebody who's never seen it is like, they like, bro, what the fuck? And you look at them and you like, nigga, what? Like, it's normal shit. It's just it's a different day. Same shit, just a different day. So shit like that, it's like, once you keep getting overexposed to something, I do think you become like kind of numb to it, and then you can become insensitive to it. Like, on social media, I feel like with death and just people's private lives, a lot of people ask for so much. Like, well, I want to know. Like, TikTok, fuck you, TikTok. I just want to say that, fuck you. I feel like on TikTok, people
is burning bridges before we can get to a bridge at this
TikTok. If y'all ever want to do a deal, we can definitely do a deal. But it's some of y'all on TikTok that be ruining the app. Like, the story time. Yeah, somebody breaking down like, okay, this happened to, oh, well, we need a story time. When are you going to give us a story time? And this is my personal life, but it's also, you do open up that window for people to come in and be able to ask that by putting your information and business out on there, on that app, or not just on that app, but even Facebook and Twitter. Shit, every app where like you see, like y'all see that fucking couple who keep fighting on Facebook Live.
Yeah, I keep seeing him, but I thought it was like you know the dude that had the comb in the back. I'm thinking
it was like something. We don't know, like for sure, because they keep making it seem like
dude got a black ass.
He did, but you don't know if that's them, like just getting into character real good or some shit.
Nigga, who is purpose? Well, it's clout is a motherfucker.
You know, in porn, motherfuckers get their dick and balls punched and squeezed. People be liking shit like that.
It's a lot of we don't kink shame on awkward thinking. You know what I mean?
We don't.
We don't kink shame. So
to a certain degree, because what you doing shitting on people? Why you gotta shit on somebody?
If you like your balls getting punched on, get your balls punched on. You know what I mean? When you see them dogs in your front yard, just know upstairs a nigga getting his balls punched on.
But no, social media definitely has made niggas like insensitive. Cause it's like
that's what social media is though. Like social media has given people who wouldn't have a platform to say these things in real life, a platform to say these things. Like Mike Tyson said. Mike Tyson has a quote, and it's like social media has made people comfortable with saying things and not getting punched in the face for it. And it's like if you go through any comment section on like a virtual post, people are saying like crazy things. You know what I'm saying? Like even I'm a sports fan, so the like really big thing is like to call LeBron a crybaby and say he's weak and he cries to the refs and all that. And like, not saying that I think LeBron feels any type of way about it, but say LeBron was some type of sensitive dude. You know what I'm saying?
I'm pretty sure he is though. I feel like that affects his mental.
Shit gotta affect you at some point.
But go ahead, finish the point.
Well, I mean, and then say he was going through the comment section every day, and these people, look bum, look crybaby. You know what I'm saying? He was like, damn, like this is a lot. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I don't do nothing. Like the dude is a good guy. He put tons of people through school. He doesn't know scandals, nothing like that. But still, people, just because of his greatness, I would say, want to talk down on him and say things. So I think social media has given insensitive people a platform to show their true colors.
Yeah, I feel like my slogan with the insensitive thing, social media has
said my slogan.
Social media has made people insensitively sensitive. Like
that too, yeah.
It's to a point where yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, thank you.
I like that.
Because you can dish out all you want. You can dish out all you want. Let it be something that triggers them on social media. Now everybody is so, oh, this is not right, and that, we gotta fight for this X, Y, and Z.
That is my problem with certain things. With certain, I'm not gonna go too deep into it, but that is my problem with certain things, and it's not the people within the communities or whatever. It's like that, bro. Like people being overly sensitive. You know what I'm saying? And then being overly sensitive to where your sensitivity could be considered insensitive. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then Dave Chappelle talked about that in a stand-up where he was like, he was basically talking about the baby and how people are trying to boycott him and things like that. And then he was like, you guys came into the struggle like so like early on. Like we black people have been going through this for so long, and it seemed like y'all are getting further than us, and y'all are using y'all power to oppress us. Yeah. So it's like, why would you as an oppressed group, why would you use your, power to come and press down on somebody else who is oppressed? You know what I'm saying? So like, it's like social media has added so many different variables and so many different like outlets for like people to get things out and view things, and it's like all of it is seen as so important. So it's like it's crazy because it's like as our people, we don't have that same. We do, but it's like people automatically come and try to push it back. You know what I'm saying? With like other communities, it's like they can have the platform, they can have the momentum behind it, they can have rallies and not no type of bad thing happen. Like people are happy about it. But then we go and it's like, oh my gosh, stop. Oh my gosh, we're gonna kill 3 of you and get off for it on trial. oh my gosh, he's a good old boy. You know what I'm saying? Like it's insane, bro. And like social media has, and I think that that's something we really need to pay attention to. Like social media has put all of this out in the open for us to see, and it's really scary. Like if you look on like social media and see what people believe and like the hidden racism with burner accounts, and I don't mean to get on like racism and all that because that's not what this episode is for, but don't be insensitive and don't be what I say.
Don't be insensitively sensitive. Boom.
It's like all lives matter to Black Lives Matter.
Oh yeah.
Shit like that. That was so insensitive. It's like white women tears. Like it is. Like it's insensitive because it's like and like to add on to what Darrell was saying, it's like I see TikTok, going back to TikTok. There's a lot of black women on TikTok who try to set boundaries. Hey, I don't want y'all doing this. Like, I know I did it, but this is not for y'all. Like, and you just should respect it. If I'm telling you, like, you should respect it, you should respect it. You shouldn't have to question me or even if you question me, don't question me to try to change my mind. Question me to understand why. Understand why I'm setting these boundaries and shit. And I think that's a huge thing. Like, you see a lot of, like, on TikTok, again, you see a lot of black women who say, okay, they talk about braids. They talk about braids. They talking about using certain voices, using the N-word and shit. And then you'll see white people in the comment section going crazy, like, oh, it's not just yours, but it's all insensitive shit. And it's like, shit like that, you can't do that.
So another thing I wanted to touch on too with social media is
wait, I have a question real quick. Okay, so do y'all think there's a difference between being insensitive and being blatantly disrespectful? Because I feel like all lives matter. Like when I say insensitive, I feel like that's like something like all lives matter was blatantly like disrespectful. Like that was for a group of people who understood what Black Lives Matter was and blatantly chose to say, okay, all lives matter because we're trying to belittle Black Lives Matter because we I believe those people understood the concept of what we were trying to say. And
I agree to an extent. I think and not to cut you off, but I do think like it was a point in time where all lives matter had made it seem like, okay, we are trying to include everybody. And then you didn't use at one point, because at one point I was like, okay, all lives do matter. It makes sense. And then I seen how they use all lives matter. And it was like, y'all don't really mean that shit. Y'all just mean Black lives shouldn't be on the forefront right now.
Or ever.
Have you feel like you need some more guidance with finance events or
I can definitely say I need a little guidance with finance. Yeah.
Finance. So we have this Urban Billionaires Club. It plans to educate in the urban community about the importance of money management and methods to obtain financial freedom and resulting in the creation of generational wealth. So, make sure y'all check them out at Urban Billionaires Club on Facebook and IG. Social media also plays a part with people not savoring moments, being insensitive at funerals, as in, oh, I gotta post my dead auntie on social media or Facebook to let people know, like, oh, she dead for real. Like, nah, like it's one of them things where it's like, for me personally, my great grandma died, a long minute ago, and it was people, taking pictures of the casket. I don't really believe in that because a teacher told me, God rest her soul as well. A teacher told me way back in the day, like, I don't want to see my granddad or my cousin in the hospital because I don't want that to be my last memory of them. You know what I mean? We have so many good ones, but I know that one's is going to stick longer than those good ones. So I never really understood why people is it an insensitive thing to post that picture of the casket and funerals and things of that nature.
It is, because that's a private affair. It's not even just like private, but that's personal. Once you put it on social media, it no longer it's become personal. Now, in the age of COVID and stuff, we had to my brother's funeral was live streamed. I couldn't get down there in time, so I had to watch it through Zoom and shit. So like stuff like that is different because it's accommodating. But to put like putting people casket and shit up on like, and not even just caskets. People like, I've seen so many people get murdered on social media. Like, you watch videos of people like losing their life, and the first few times you see it, it's like you like, bro, this person just died, and then after that, now it's like, damn, and then you see people in the comments like, damn, they got Buddy up through, or they caught his ass lacking this and that, or whatever, like, and it's like, bro, this is somebody's fucking family right here.
Yeah. That has become like insane. Like the way people commentate about things like that has become insane. Like it's like a game or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's funny. I do agree. I've been noticing that, and that's like crazy to me. And like I just be looking like, this person just died, and like you're over here like talking about, got him, or you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you mean got him? Like, is this like it's cool? And then also like the same people who be sharing it and like, oh, got him, oh, he put something hot to him or whatever. It's like, bro.
And you go to their bio and they got 6 dead niggas in their bio.
Oh, wait.
No, it's like RIP this, RIP that, and it's like, why don't? And that was the thing on Twitter at one point. People would bring up people's dead folks on Twitter, and it was like, niggas would, oh, well, you can't put it on Twitter. You know, Twitter is great. No, nigga,
can't put it on there at all.
Oh, like when people were doing like the TikToks and were like pin like oh, your whole family dead, or why you got all those...
People do that on TikTok. Like, they'll be like dead rappers or something like that, and then they'll dance too. Like how you were saying, like with the molestation, they'll dance and make a coffee or some shit like that, and it's so fucking weird. But I did
want to say, before we got completely off this topic, even before COVID, there were like live stream funerals though. So I think like in some cases, like in your case, it may have been disrespectful, but some people don't mind.
2016.
And then I don't even know if we know if those people mind.
2016.
We don't know, but
the live stream wasn't a real big thing.
It wasn't
at that time. So 2016, you taking a picture.
I'm not
just
saying like everybody was doing, but I'm saying like celebrities and stuff, they would have like their stuff on the news. Or
but
whatever.
with like shit like with Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, shit like that, Kobe, all of them, that was something for everybody because he inspired people. You know what I mean? That funeral was for.
It's like, yeah, I get it. But some, like, unless the family wanted it private, it's not private.
And there's some celebrities that have private viewings. Like, I think the Whitney Houston was joint, but they didn't do something like you ain't see like the people or something.
Like with the Kobe situation, nobody respected the fact that man had a family. Them niggas said, this is Kobe Bryant, the basketball star, and he's dead. Let's take pictures of it and send it around to each other. Like, for clout and shit. And it's like, there was no respect there for his family who would later have to see that shit at some point in time. Like, just imagine something as, like, fucked up. And not even just Kobe, but his daughter and all the other people who were there, too. Like, imagine having to go online one day and just seeing the aftermath of that, like pictures of them and the wreckage and everything. That's some shit you would never want to see as their family. And it's like, you don't even have that choice anymore because motherfuckers will put it on social media. And
then something that's also insane is that you have to think about, like, we're talking about things that are visible on like the normal web. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a dark web.
Oh yeah.
So I'm saying, like, if all of that is accessible on the normal web, imagine like what is on the dark web,
nigga.
Imagine,
nigga.
Like, seriously.
I was in high school. I went to a Catholic high school for like 2 years. I went to high school my freshman year, right? Nigga, we got iPads. Everybody had iPads in the school. They gave them away. All right, cool. You had your textbooks, everything in them iPads. Cool. Somebody found something like a dark web type of thing. You seen people getting beheaded. You seen dogs getting in the microwave. You seen like animals getting kicked off. You seen people getting like raped and things of that nature. And people in high school thought that shit was so funny at the time. And I was just like so mind boggled. Like, bro, this is a dog getting engulfed in flames. Like, I don't want to see that. Like,
that shit,
that is nothing.
It'd be like, to me, there's a point of like, where the fuck is your humanity at? Like, why don't you feel that in your soul? Like, you don't feel like
it's on you.
You don't feel like I can't watch movies where like dogs get hurt. Like that'll fuck me up. I don't want to watch that. I can't watch rape scenes. Like Game of Thrones, there's a lot of raping in Game of Thrones. I have to skip through that because that's not some shit that I want to see or watch. And like, because if it's like not personal, but it's like, nigga, that person, you hear them going through it, whether it's acting or not. It's still like, y'all ever seen Locked Up?
Akon?
No, Locked Up. It used to come on BET all the time. Okay, well, Locked Up is about a group of men in prison and shit and in jail, and it just shows like the wild side of prison. And one of the actors he played Tracy in The Wood. Remember the big brother?
Tracy.
Okay.
So
light skin guy.
he just did an interview. He wasn't light skinned. He was like,
oh, you know who I'm thinking about? Stacy.
With the
I think his
Jerry
name,
curl hair?
Yeah, him.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't light skinned.
He was brown skinned.
He was light skinned.
Nigga, finish your point.
So he just did an interview about that, and he said after he had to do a rape scene, like where he was getting raped, and he said after that he walked off set and just broke down crying. He said that shit, like, it just didn't feel right in the spirit at all. And it's like shit like that is like, I don't understand how people can witness certain shit and not feel any way. Or I can't say I don't understand, because shit, you grow up in certain shit and you get used to it. But it's like, to just that initial reaction to not have no sympathy or empathy for the next person or next living thing or whatever, shit fucked up.
And you wanna know what's crazy? Two things. You could watch a movie where a human dies, but a dog.
Because in the movie, I know that it's acting. I'm okay with that. But the dog is like, it's just, first off, you ever seen a dog like scream and shit and howl in pain? That shit, I don't know about you, but it like, that shit hit right here. And it'd be like, it's hard to hear. It's like hard. Everybody feel bad. Like everybody says that. You can watch a human die in a movie, but as soon as it happens to the dog, it's like, what the fuck? Why the dog? Because dogs are innocent. Dogs are purely innocent. Like, there's nothing.
There's a few pit bulls out in these streets.
Watch your fucking mouth.
But even the owner may have made him like that. Okay. But what was the other point that we were talking about you had made after that? What were you talking about after that?
The rape scene? What?
Oh, yeah. So the crazy part about it is that the producer or whoever is making that movie is naturally doing that so that someone has some type of
that reaction,
emotional tie to it. So the fact that you don't, not you, or whoever doesn't in that moment, like, that's like unnatural. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shows that something that happened within your development or within your, brain is not natural. So maybe, like, at that point, like, is it cues to where maybe, okay, if I'm witnessing someone being raped on TV and I don't feel anything, do I need to go and take some action about my thought process or the way I view things or my development? Because I may have had, you know what I'm saying? I may have had some trauma or something in my life.
It could just be, like, it could be that some people might actually do need to go, like, I don't feel nothing when things like this happen, and you might need to address that and get that dealt with. But then for some people, it could just be like, shit, I understand it's a movie. Yeah. It's not like
some movies is like real, like,
yeah,
it have a haunting thing. But some movies I feel like people do to numb certain pains. Like we was talking about it yesterday when we was all together. Like slave movies, and they've shown them so much. Django, 12 years, this one, that one, that one, that one, that one. So it's like people be like, oh, it happened. It's whatever. So it takes that emotion out of that pain. But let Passion of the Christ happen, and Jesus love you. Jesus take a few lashes. You know what I mean? Oh my God, why would they do that to Jesus? And that, you know what I mean? But if it happened to a black person, they was feeding babies to crocodiles and stuff like that, you see that, it'd be like, wow, cool.
Like, I feel like the topic of insensitivity when it comes to black people is like, that's an endless topic.
Yeah.
like it is. And like, that's sad. And I swear to God, like, at like some point that really make me like want to cry, bro. Because it's like, it doesn't end.
It doesn't.
Like, you could never not have something to talk about when it comes to the insensitivity of the world towards black people. And it's like, why? Like,
because the world don't value and it's shown, like, and especially here in America, we're not valued as people. Like, white people don't see us as people, and I'm gonna keep saying white people because it be y'all motherfuckers. Like,
but the thing is, like, and then I said the world just because
it's all over the world.
Yeah, bro. Like, it's like everyone. It's like, and like, honestly, and I'm not saying that is cool that like white people or a lot of white people are racist, but I feel like I would feel better if it was just them.
No. Fuck
you know,
that.
No, I'm not.
They're
I'm
the
not
cause
saying,
of it, though. They're
and I get that, but I'm saying, like, okay, if it was just them and like everyone else was like for like with us and like understood us and was trying to help us,
I get you.
I would feel a lot better.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't
like everybody.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind if they were against us. You know what I'm saying? It would be fucked up. It would be messed up.
But it wouldn't matter because
it wouldn't matter as much. Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I forgot what I was about to say. I had something to say, but I forgot.
I had something to say, but I forgot because I was talked over.
I ain't know.
That was insensitive of you.
Shut the hell up.
But white people aren't valued. Not white people, but black people are not valued how other races are, and just how people are seen. Like, it's a lot of y'all motherfuckers who think y'all dogs are worth more than human life.
No, for real.
And I ain't saying like just be out here killing dogs and shit, because I seen Airbud, like, that's my nigga. But it's like, at the end of the day, white people will protest for the rights of animals before they get out here and protest for the rights of black people, and that shit be sick. Y'all are trifling as fuck.
Oh shit. And yeah, but you know, black people do the same thing. Like,
don't do that.
Black people do the same thing, bro.
What they do?
And what I mean by that is, black people, they pick and choose what they want to stand up for.
I don't think that's true.
I do.
I think
really do.
You have to also look at like how many years black people have been doing this shit. This is 400 plus years of the same shit.
Today's black people pick and choose what they want to fight for.
I won't just say that, but you got to take certain things into consideration. A lot of people at this point, it's like, shit don't change. Every time we try to we done made our own communities. Y'all went in and y'all bombed them. We done made our own shit. Y'all come in and y'all take it. We create our own culture and y'all try to rob us of that. Like, it's like we can't have shit. So it's like, it do get to a point where it's like, bro, why do we keep fucking fighting for this shit? And then it get to a point where you become desensitized to shit. Where it's like, okay, they done killed another black man today. What's new? This is something they do all the time. Like, all right. Like, it get to that point where it's like, nigga, what can I do now?
That's dangerous.
It is.
Like, hearing that out loud is like really dangerous. That's really dangerous. But I do, like, to a certain point, I agree with you. And I feel like we've gotten comfortable with what they have given us. You know what I'm saying? Whether that being, because if you really think about it, if you really think about it, we are still controlled within America. Mm-hmm. Like, if you look at who is controlling the school system, who is controlling tax rates, who is controlling policies, all that. Like, it's not us. Like, no one like us is doing it. Like, it was actually like just a big thing. I guess a trial had happened to go over the curriculum in schools, and they had took out Dr. Martin Luther King. They took out the teachings of Harriet Tubman. They basically took out any form of black history was taken out. And it's like, that's happening right underneath our nose. And the thing that was crazy to me, and I'm kind of like skeptical on it, because I'm not sure if it's just for show or if they're doing it just because everything is like, you can't believe like what you see. But it was a white man who was fighting to have these things put back in place. You know what I'm saying? Because I guess the Senate had passed a bill to basically erase all black teachings from the school curriculum, and then the House was basically saying, okay, like, this is, you guys blatantly whitewash this, and it's not okay. And it's like, we don't even know, like, okay, like, that was something that we seen, but how many of those go on and like so underneath our nose, like we don't even get the chance to pay attention to it. And it's so like things are changing so rapidly, so fast, and not in our favor that, bro, like it was a time where I was thinking like, what if like the world as we know it is just being set up so that we can go back to where we were? You know what I'm saying? Like as far as like being slaves or being segregated or being like
I ain't going back to slavery.
having limitations. Like okay,
I ain't going for that shit.
Yeah, listen, you
I'd
are
be the laziest fucking worker eating a biscuit
Ain't no
out this.
lazy worker.
look,
Fuck y'all got
I'm
going
saying-
on.
Yeah, everybody is gonna say that, and that should be the thought process, and I pray it doesn't happen never. But I'm just saying, like, I feel like there's being a system put in place to maybe not to like that drastic of like a change.
But I mean, we have prison systems,
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
which is slavery. That shit is slave labor. Y'all literally put black men and black women in prison, and not just even black people, but people of color. Y'all put them in prison at disproportionate rates and shit, and y'all have them work for minimum amounts of fucking money, and then y'all don't
Like
and then-
coins.
and then y'all charge taxpayers to also take care of that shit, like. And not just taxpayers, because that sounds like some conservative shit. But y'all charge people to put in on the prison system, and then y'all create pipelines from high schools to prisons, and y'all put that shit like there's a fucking justice center right in the hood, like not a justice center, but a fat ass juvenile detention center right in the hood in Cleveland, Ohio, right there on 89th and Quincy or some shit like that. Right there in the hood, and it's like them kids go from that school straight to that juvenile detention center, and it's not just because of like that's because they want to do it or that's what they chose to do. Y'all put shit in place where y'all make it where these kids don't have no choice. It's the prison, it's the pipeline from school to prison, and that should be sick.
I have two 2 points. Going back to the school system shit. Like when I was growing up, right? When I was growing up, I went to a Catholic school. Majority of my like upbringing, I used to draw myself. Not to make this a race episode, because it ties back into it. I used to draw myself white and stuff like that because I thought that was like, you know. But you know, instead of my teacher saying like, "Oh, yo, you know, Nasir, you know, you're black," you know what I mean? Just explaining that, I had to. My mom, she was like, "All right, what you bring home? You know, let me see." And she's like, "Why do you keep doing this?" And she was like, "I have nobody corrected me." You know what I mean? Nobody
what color
said
was your teacher though?
she was white.
Yeah, so maybe like she felt like that would have been like.
It would have been OD if she would have said
Maybe.
something.
No,
But you have to understand, like, okay, like there is.
She could have been like, "You're black, you're beautiful," you feel me, or whatever.
She
it could have been a
but-
conversation around it. It doesn't have to
or
like
to the parent. Like my mom didn't like. She could have talked to my
could've,
mom like,
but-
"Nasir's been drawing himself white. I don't know what's
But
going
that's like,
on."
but that sounds like
It's
you're,
not.
like you're
It's
God.
like-
it's
no,
n-
I'm saying like I understand like what y'all saying and like the perfect world, yeah. But it's like you have to understand people do have feelings and people do think about sometimes their actions, especially a teacher. She's probably a knowledgeable lady, so she was probably thinking about her actions before she did it. So it's a bunch of things like, okay, do I tell him? And then like that goes into this and that goes into that, and you don't really know where it could go. You know what I'm saying?
That was one of my favorite teachers.
you
So-
can just ask like, "Hey, Nasir, why do you draw yourself white?"
Yeah, you could. I'm just saying, like, that's probably how she felt. Like, that's probably why. Like, I don't see that as like her not saying anything. I don't see that as like a big thing. is what I'm saying.
I feel like it is because it's like one of those things where it's like you see a child that you're teaching is at a loss of identity.
Yeah.
You feel me?
But at that point, she gave it to you to take home to your mom, right?
Cause I'm sorry, I just feel like it. Remember our conversation the other night about the dress?
Oh yeah.
But
yeah.
she gave it back to you
Yeah.
to give to your mom, and it was like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I guess I don't think that was her intent because she would have had an adult conversation with it, but that's neither here nor there. My next thing was black people do get insensitive to the struggle also, to the point where they say, "Oh, I'm not my ancestors." I could never.
That's very
that
disrespectful.
Shit is
you
so,
can never be your fucking ancestor, like, cause your ancestors is out here getting shit done, and not a lot of y'all. I won't say that, but it is too many of us who will sit back and accept some of the bullshit that goes on and just justify it. When in reality, our ancestors was knucking if you buck in this bitch. Like, don't do
and
our
it took
ancestors.
a lot of pain, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta think. It's
We couldn't have went
motherfuckers-
through that shit.
That's what I'm saying.
I will admit I definitely couldn't do
A
the
limb
things.
being broken and you still gotta pick cotton. And I just learned off of TikTok the other day because somebody was like, oh, like a white man was like, oh, I can pick cotton. This is easy. But then a black woman broke it down. Was like, no, you have to keep up with the fastest picker.
Yeah, I
And
seen
if
that.
you-
That shit was wild.
And it was like, I would have never known that you
Yeah.
gotta keep up like a pace. And if you don't, like, you'll get lashes and shit like that. And it was like a set, like this one picked 500 today. You still you pick 200 or whatever.
That's still wild that was even
Yeah,
like
I think-
a point in time,
Imagine just you and your wife. I don't even know how. That's slavery. That's when you jumped over the broom. That's where that term comes from. So imagine you and your wife having kids, and then you have to. They take your wife, they put her on another plantation, and take your kids and put them all on different plantations. That's why our bloodlines are so mixed, and some of us are cousins and this and that, and it's like it, and not even just that, but forcing y'all to mate, like forcing you to mate with your own family. That's shit that you like. We couldn't go through that today. Yeah. That's some shit I wouldn't want to go through. Like, so when our ancestors really did so much to like really set us up for the future. Like, we're not in the best position right now, no. But our ancestors, the work that they put in and the shit, we gotta continue to build on that. Like, that is very important. I'm gonna also say this because I'm gonna keep going back to TikTok. I feel like it's two things on TikTok that I feel like are really creepy to me. Y'all people who go on TikTok and y'all tell these stories about y'all molestations and sexual assault, I don't think there's nothing wrong with ever giving a platform for that. But the way y'all go by it is weird as fuck, and it don't come off as it. I feel like it doesn't come off where it's like educational or even inform. It's like you're doing a fucking little. I'm gonna do a little story time for this. Like, I'm gonna do it. You put
like
music,
for part 2.
Yeah, shit like that is weird. And you use it as like a source, as content, and it's like, I just feel like that's not the way to do it. And I mean, who am I to be telling motherfuckers how to talk about their sexual assault and shit? Like, I'm not anybody for that, but I'm gonna give my opinion anyway. Like, it's weird, bro. It's weird to sit on TikTok, create a song, do a little story, and I'm gonna do this and do that, and you try to be quirky about it, and it's weird as fuck. And then the other thing, y'all forget it's kids on TikTok. And TikTok is not like how Facebook is, Instagram, or Twitter, where you can do your account like, okay, I don't want these kind of people seeing my shit. I only want certain people seeing. Anybody can see your shit. If I go and log on to TikTok again and I gotta see a grown ass man in this fucking, either in this underwear or with shorts on with no underwear on, making himself get hard and jumping up in front of the camp, niggas have been doing that on TikTok.
Doing what?
Like putting on some gray sweats and getting in front of the camera and like jumping and shit so you can see they shit, bro.
All right, what is on your For You page?
It be a lot of shit going on.
What the fuck is on your For You page?
I don't know, like,
what the fuck do you be
liking? I don't be liking shit, but it'll come up like, or it'll come up in songs and shit too, like, and not just men, it's women. I just seen you
see a lot of
they
ass
just
on
posted
TikTok.
like a sex tape on TikTok.
Show
She was
mama.
like, that little trend that's going around, like, have you kissed my son yet?
What?
Or have y'all kissed? Like, it's a trend. It's like the mother will ask, have you kissed my son yet? Like, ask the daughter, like, or the son's girlfriend, and then they'll do something like they'll show them already in love or some shit, which wasn't bad. It was like, it's a little weird, but then, like, I see this girl, she on TikTok getting back shots.
What the fuck is on your For You page?
I don't know. I don't really have a specific thing because I just, for the most part, I only look at art and like funny shit.
Maybe that's a type of art. You never know, but.
It's time!
right. It's about that time
Give me a second.
where we leave you off with a positive message to get through the week. So, niggas, what is that positive message you want to get through for the week?
Communication is key. And I'm gonna say communication for a lot of shit is key. A lot of times I found myself being insensitive to people and what they were going through. Not because I wanted to be insensitive, just because I ain't lived that part of my life yet. And it was like I was insensitive, I was judgmental, and I ain't saying I'm cured of the shit, but now I try to use, like, when I talk to people, I try to literally pick my words. Cause I want to make sure, like, when I'm talking to you, I'm not going to say some shit that's going to offend you or affect you, like, in a negative way. I want to make sure, like, whenever we have an interaction, it be like as positive as possible. So and I also, you gotta, like, ask people if certain shit is okay. Like, I'll ask my friends, like, hey, am I going too far, or like, was that cool? Like, how we talk to each other, is that, like, are we okay with that shit, like that? And it's like, communication is key, bro.
I think the thing I want to say is control what you can control, because life is insensitive. Life isn't good all the time. People are going to say things to you. Things are going to happen to you. Adversity is going to hit. But make sure that you're good within yourself, and you're happy within yourself, and you're confident within yourself. So when these type of things do happen, you can get through them, you can get past them, and you can ultimately move on. You don't have to live in those moments, or live knowing that, or thinking about what these people say, or thinking about what has happened, or nothing like that. Just get confident and good within yourself so that you're strong enough to surpass certain things.
I'm sorry, just to piggyback off of that, though, because I don't want to just be like, okay, it's easy to be like, just get confident. And I ain't saying that's what he just saying to y'all, but in order for you to do that, you have to set boundaries within all your relationships and friendships, and even just like business shit. Like, you have to set them boundaries, and you have to know what you got to speak up for yourself. That's something you do have to do. You got to learn to speak up for yourself. One thing my mother always taught me was a closed mouth don't get fed. And it, like, a lot of times you'll find yourself accepting shit, and people see you accepting it and think that you are okay with it. But if you speak up and you address something and you tell people, like, I'm not okay with this, I don't care for, like, me and Nas, we go at it sometimes.
We had an argument like a motherfucker.
Yeah,
a couple days
and it
ago.
got, like, really, like, heated. Not like physical or nothing, but like it was like I had to set the boundary with him. And it's like, in our friendship, it's hard. Like, sometimes you don't know the boundaries, and it's like I had to tell him, like, I feel like you are, instead of you questioning, instead of, like I said earlier, instead of you questioning, like, not why I think like this or why it's important, I feel like you're questioning me to challenge my thought, and I don't. In certain situations, it's not for you to challenge my thought,
Right.
And that's it.
So, my positive message, guys, I'm gonna make it short, sweet, and simple. Savor the moment. I think with all this social media and stuff like that, it's been very insensitive for people not to savor that moment. Like, as in, have a brief story. It's people that will pull out their phones for every single memory. You know what I mean? And you ever notice that you can't remember it because it's all on your phone,
And you never go back to it.
and you never go back to it, and it's really hard for you to remember just that moment. You know what I mean? And I feel like with that, it's like, when people say savor the moment, it's like food. You know what I mean? When it's something so good and you want to eat it and you want to slowly take your time and stuff like that, that's like with a memory. You know, you remember how shit smells when you was a kid and things of that, because there was no phones. You know what I mean? So stop trying to just you ruining your good time trying to show other people you having a good time. So that's all I have to say to the shit. I'm Nas.
I'm Vince.
Bing bong.
And that's Darrell. And
Now, what's up, baby? Take me out to dinner.
Hey, yo.
thank you for being awkward with us, ladies and gentlemen.